Welcome back to day 15. Nope, 16. Oh man. 16 of remote learning. Look at all these nice pictures I got from you guys. All these cylinders. Looking good. I tried to get most of them on there that you guys posted. If you didn't post your photos yet, better late than never. So let's talk about some of these. If I refer to, or if I'm talking about the base of a cylinder, the base, I'm over here at the baking powder. Maybe I'll make it a different color. The base of a cylinder is pretty much, the top and the bottom. And what shape is the base of a cylinder? Yeah, a circle. So all of these, as I move my way around, have bases, top and bottom. There's two bases that are circles. Then the lateral surface is this surface that wraps around the cylinder. And if you think about it, that's actually like taking a rectangle, taking a piece of paper. If you hold a piece of paper and you wrap it around and you make it a circle, you're making it a cylinder. So your lateral surface area is just a rectangle that's been wrapped around. Okay, so let's go through a couple more of these. If I look at the Alexa, I have a circle base on top. And of course, there's going to be a base on the bottom. And then I have the lateral surface that's wrapping around the whole thing. Okay, and that's all cylinders. And these are some pretty nice ones you guys came up with. It's probably the most common one that's found around the house, right? I know the pyramid was impossible for some of you. I don't even know if I can find one around my house, but I'm still looking. Okay, so, this should be no surprise, but I want you to think about it. Oh my goodness, everybody's posting at the same time. What three-dimensional solid is formed when this rectangle here is spun around this line? So picture, I'm holding a piece of paper by the edge and I'm spinning it in a circle really fast. If you squint your eyes, what shape's that going to make? Probably obvious because it's the topic of the day. It's going to make a cylinder. Now, I know this is hard for some people to visualize. If we're having trouble, I'll make a video of me spinning something around and we can start acting it out. So you better let me know if you have issues. So if I'm trying to draw what this solid looks like, I'd really like you to try to draw this before I do so that it makes you think a little bit. Okay, so the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to go, okay, well, it's also going to make this rectangle on this side. Pretty much I'm trying to draw a cylinder. It wraps, around the top here. So it's really going to look like the Alexa on the previous page. Maybe that looks a little ugly. But I want you to see that if it spins around and around, it's making a cylinder. And hopefully you realize that the shape of the base of this solid, remember there's two bases, it doesn't have to be on the bottom. The base, now when I draw it three-dimensional, it doesn't look perfect, but the base is a circle. And hopefully, just as a quick review, what's the area of a circle? The area of a circle is pi r squared, where r is the radius. And pi is just the number, 3.14159. Some of you memorize a lot more of that in middle school. Okay. Are you guys with me? So the volume of a cylinder, so I'll put V and then a little subscript, I'll write cylinder, is, once again, like yesterday, it's like I take a circle and I stack another circle on top of it and I stack another one and another one, another one. So I'm taking the area of that base. So I'm taking the same thing. It's going to be the area of the base times the height. This looks the same as yesterday. But now we know that the area of the base, since the base is a circle, is pi r squared. So you can go with this one. The area of a cylinder is pi r squared times the height, h. Now, this, more common in this class, is to find the volume, right? Especially if you were having a Regents, I would say you should definitely know that. Surface area, not as common, but I like going over because I think it's interesting. So the surface area is, well, I can find the area of the two bases. So it's 2, because there's two bases. It's 2 times pi r squared. And I'll say, just so we have it here, plus, now I need the lateral surface area. The lateral surface area is this, like I said before, rectangle wrapping all around. Now, the rectangle has a height of h, but what's like the length of that rectangle? Take a second to think about it. If I unwrapped this cylinder, and maybe later I will post a video of me unwrapping a cylinder, because, if you think about like unwrapping, if I cut everybody's been talking about toilet paper these days, if you cut a toilet paper roll and spread it out, it would look like a rectangle, right? So you know the height, and see if this makes sense. The length will be the circumference of the circle because it has to wrap all the way around the circumference. So, plus the circumference. What is circumference? 2 pi r or pi d? So 2 pi r for the circumference times the height. And this is the lateral surface area. Okay. Like I said, not like a common question asked, but I think it's very interesting. Okay, so I have three questions for you. You know what? Let's do the first one, because why not? If I want this first one, I have a volume. So let's think about this. This 15 meters. Whoa, this thing's huge. This is the radius. And this is the height of my cylinder. So if I want the volume, it's pi r squared times h. And it says to leave your answers in terms of pi, which means your answer should have a pi in it. I'll tell you what that means. So I leave the pi. Don't put pi in your calculator as like 3.1. Just leave it. And then the r squared, 15 squared times the height of 28. Now what you want to do, like I said, just leave the pi and multiply the other values together. So if you get your calculator out, I'm just multiplying this part, and I'm getting 6,300 pi. Ooh, what are the units for volume? How many dimensions? It probably would have helped if I did this. Meters. There's 3 dimensions, right? Length, width, and height. So this is the answer you want to leave. This is in terms of pi. If I asked you to round to the nearest, cubic meter, then you would hit the pi button on your calculator and you would get, you would get, 19,792 cubic meters. Okay, but that's not what it's asking. And then they want the surface area. Surface area is the 2 circles plus the pi, it doesn't really matter, but 2 pi r times the height. Once again, you can leave it in terms of pi. So I have 2 pi 15 squared plus 2 pi 15 times 28. So this first part comes out to, or the base is 450 pi plus 840 pi. So all you have to do, they're like terms, they both have pi in it, is add those two together. And now that it's area, it's only 2 dimensions, so it's meters squared. Okay, now I'm going to do this unit very slowly because I know that the end of this week and next week is supposed to be your spring break. So we will do very little every day. So there'll be plenty of time to ask questions or, tackle any difficulties you're having. But for now, there's only one B and number 2 left. So give it a try, and then I will post the answers.